Have you ever wondered whether you could actually stop prostate enlargement before it begins? You're not alone. According to the American Urological Association, roughly half of men in their 60s experience symptoms of an enlarged prostate, officially known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. That number can climb to as high as 90% for men in their 70s and 80s. These symptoms can include frequent nighttime urination, dribbling, and that frustrating feeling that the bladder never quite empties. Whether you're concerned for yourself or a loved one, you should know there are specific steps you can take to help keep the prostate in good shape. Today, we're going to dive deep into how you can reduce your risk of developing prostate issues. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap for a healthier, happier prostate, even if genetics aren't on your side. Before we jump in, I want to invite you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Simply tap that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest videos. Your support truly means the world. If you find this content helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you end up enjoying the discussion, type yes in the comments below. If not, let me know by typing no. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and helps shape the content we create. Now let's uncover the best strategies to prevent prostate enlargement, also referred to as stopping BPH before it starts. Why the prostate matters. The prostate is a walnut-sized gland located just beneath the bladder, wrapping around the urethra, the tube through which you urinate. It produces some of the fluids that help nourish and protect sperm, contributing to healthy sexual and reproductive function. Because it encircles the urethra, even slight growth of the prostate can narrow the urinary pathway, leading to those annoying symptoms like a weak stream or difficulty emptying the bladder. This growth typically begins once men reach middle age and can progress well into later life. We often think of it as unavoidable, but is it really? Let's look closer. Key mechanisms behind prostate enlargement. You might be aware that testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, plays a significant role in developing the male body, especially during adolescence. However, the hormone that really impacts the prostate is dihydrotestosterone, DHT. Think of DHT as a kind of supercharged version of testosterone. According to the Mayo Clinic, testosterone travels to the prostate where an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase converts it into DHT. This potent hormone then binds to receptors in the prostate, influencing it to grow. Here's the twist. Even though testosterone levels often drop as men age, the prostate can still enlarge over time. So it's not as simple as pointing a finger at testosterone alone. Another factor that can push the prostate to overgrow is inflammation. Chronic inflammation, whether triggered by bacterial or viral infections, autoimmune conditions, or disturbances in the prostate's natural microbiome, can set off a chain reaction that leads to more and more cell growth. Certain inflammatory signals, like cytokines, chemical messengers in your immune system, can trigger growth factors such as epidermal growth factor, EGF, or insulin-like growth factor, IGF. These growth factors cause cells in the prostate to multiply, and suddenly you enter a vicious cycle. More growth leads to more inflammation, which leads to even more growth. Genetics and family history. Do you have a father, grandfather, or close male relative who dealt with prostate problems at a relatively young age? If so, you might have a stronger genetic predisposition to BPH. Research shows that if someone in your family has had severe prostate enlargement, your odds of developing it go up, especially if they required surgery before the age of 60. Genetics can play a critical role, so if it's in your family, it becomes even more important to be vigilant and adopt prevention strategies. Inflammation, more than a buzzword. Inflammation is a term we toss around a lot, but what exactly is it? In your prostate, inflammation can be triggered by factors like urine backflow into the prostate ducts, viral or bacterial infections, or even disruptions in the local prostate microbiome. Once your immune system jumps into action, T cells release cytokines such as interleukin-6, IL-6. These cytokines can activate fibroblast growth factor 2, FGF2, and other chemicals that boost cell multiplication in the prostate. The new tissue then demands more oxygen, leading to the production of reactive oxygen species, highly irritating molecules that worsen inflammation. It's a never-ending loop. Inflammation leads to growth, growth leads to inflammation, and so on. Lifestyle factors that matter. You might have heard that diet and exercise can shape your health, but did you know they can also heavily influence your prostate? Specifically, anything that leads to what doctors call metabolic syndrome can boost the risk of BPH. Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of conditions, including high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and elevated blood sugar levels, conditions that often go hand in hand with obesity or a sedentary lifestyle. Here's how these factors stack up against your prostate health. Diabetes. Researchers have found that diabetes increases the risk of having an enlarged prostate by up to 125%. Even more concerning, it raises the risk of having significant urinary symptoms by about 95%. It's not just about high blood sugar. Diabetes can also accelerate inflammation and vascular issues, further aggravating prostate conditions. Obesity, a high body mass index, BMI, is another culprit. Men with a BMI greater than 35 have more than double the risk, 200% increase, of developing prostate enlargement compared to those with a BMI under 25. Additionally, having a waist circumference of around 42 inches or 109 centimeters correlates with a 138% jump in BPH risk. Carrying extra weight around the abdomen isn't just about aesthetics. It can have a direct impact on your urinary health. Step number 1, combat metabolic syndrome. The first big takeaway is that you can significantly lower your chances of prostate problems by controlling metabolic issues like diabetes and obesity. Rather than waiting for these issues to creep up on you, be proactive. Schedule regular checkups to monitor blood pressure, cholesterol, and glucose levels. Embrace a balanced diet with more vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein. If you're carrying excess weight, try modest, consistent changes like daily walks or swapping sugary drinks for water. Even a small shift in your daily routine can make a big difference over time. Step number 2, get moving. Even a little. Physical activity is a game changer. In fact, an extensive review covering over 350,000 men found that even light exercise, like strolling or gentle yoga, could lower the risk of BPH by 30%. More vigorous routines offered up to a 36% reduction in risk. That might inspire you to lace up those sneakers right away. Looking for a specific guideline? In one study, men who walked at least 2 hours per week were 27% less likely to experience prostate issues than those who walked less. 2 hours might sound like a lot, but when you break it down, it's fewer than 20 minutes per day if you spread it across the entire week. Whether you prefer walking, swimming, dancing, or any other moderate aerobic activity, consistency is the secret. Step number 3, watch out for medications. While you can't catch BPH from taking certain meds, your symptoms can definitely get worse if you're already on the path to an enlarged prostate. Over-the-counter antihistamines, commonly used for allergies, can inhibit bladder muscle contractions, making it harder to push urine past a constricted urethra. Decongestants like pseudoephedrine do the opposite of certain prostate medications, such as tamsulosin, by tightening the smooth muscles in your prostate and bladder neck, again restricting urinary flow. Tricyclic antidepressants can also exacerbate these symptoms. If you notice it's getting more difficult to urinate and you're on any of these medications, talk to your healthcare provider about possible alternatives. Step number 4, fine-tune your diet. Now let's discuss one of the biggest levers you can pull, your diet. Adopting a balanced, nutrient-rich approach can reduce inflammation and mitigate many risk factors tied to BPH. One of the most comprehensive sources of data on diet and prostate health comes from the Prostate Cancer Prevention Trial, PCPT. Though primarily focused on a medication called dutasteride, it gathered invaluable information on how dietary habits influence prostate enlargement over a span of 7 years. Let's break down some of the most notable findings. High-fat diets. Men who got about 38% or more of their daily caloric intake from fat had a 31% higher risk of developing BPH compared to those consuming under 26%. Interestingly, it didn't matter much whether that fat was saturated or unsaturated. The quantity itself seemed problematic. Red meat consumption. Daily red meat consumption was associated with a 30% increased risk of BPH compared to those who ate it less than once a week. Vegetable intake. On the flip side, men who ate 4 servings of vegetables daily were 38% less likely to develop BPH than those who consumed fewer than 1 serving per day. From this study, it's evident that a diet rich in vegetables and lower in animal fat may offer significant protective benefits for your prostate. Think of it as a Mediterranean-style approach. Plentiful fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, especially fish, and healthy fats from sources like olives or avocados. The lycopene factor. You've probably heard about lycopene, a carotenoid antioxidant found primarily in tomatoes. About 85% of our dietary lycopene comes from tomato products, whether that's raw tomatoes, tomato paste, or even cooked sauces. In the prostate cancer prevention trial, men who reported higher dietary lycopene intake showed an 18% reduction in their risk of developing BPH. While other studies have shown mixed results, the anti-inflammatory properties of lycopene are still worth noting. Interestingly, cooking tomatoes may enhance their antioxidant capabilities through what scientists call the Maillard reaction. When fructose in the tomato binds to an amino acid like histidine under heat, it forms new compounds that amplify the beneficial effects of lycopene. So tomato paste and cooked sauces might actually offer more punch than raw tomatoes alone. How much lycopene do you need? Most studies suggest somewhere between 6 to 21 milligrams per day. For context, a quarter cup of tomato paste typically contains around 19 milligrams of lycopene. 1 slice of watermelon can pack about 13 milligrams. A cup of cherry tomatoes provides around 3.8 milligrams. So adding a bit of tomato sauce to your pasta or snacking on watermelon might help boost your lycopene intake. Do keep in mind that tomatoes are acidic, so overdoing it could cause heartburn or bladder irritation. Everything in moderation. Putting it all together, the blueprint for prostate health. All these factors, diet, exercise, and controlling metabolic syndrome, work synergistically. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Start with small, sustainable steps. Gradually reduce red meat. Aim for smaller portions and consider going meatless a day or 2 each week. Load up on veggies. Get in the habit of including vegetables in at least 2 of your daily meals. Pick up an exercise you enjoy. Light walking, cycling, or even dancing can make a difference. Mind your medications. If you notice urinary symptoms worsening, discuss medication side effects with your doctor. If you're already dealing with mild prostate symptoms, like waking up a couple of times per night to urinate, adopting these changes could potentially slow the progression or at least lessen the severity of your discomfort. What about supplements? Many men wonder if certain supplements, like saw palmetto, beta-sitosterol, or additional lycopene capsules, can prevent BPH or offer relief. The data on these is mixed, and some studies show minimal benefit. If you're curious, it's wise to talk with a healthcare professional about what's right for you. Supplements aren't strictly regulated in the same way prescription medications are, so quality and efficacy can vary widely between brands. Are medications ever used for prevention? In some cases, doctors prescribe 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, like finasteride or dutasteride, to men at high risk for prostate issues or those experiencing early signs of BPH. These medications reduce the conversion of testosterone to DHT, which can help slow or even shrink the prostate. However, they can come with side effects such as reduced libido or erectile changes. Whether it's an appropriate preventive step depends on each individual's situation, family history, and medical profile, so always consult a specialist to see if you're a good candidate. Conclusion: a future-proof prostate. While age and genetics certainly play a role in prostate enlargement, lifestyle modifications can make a significant difference in how and how quickly it progresses. You don't have to feel like an enlarged prostate is an inevitability. By staying active, eating a balanced diet, managing your weight and blood sugar levels, and being mindful of the medications you take, you can put yourself in the strongest position possible to keep BPH at bay. Even if you have a strong family history, these adjustments can help mitigate risk and improve your overall health along the way. Small steps can yield big results. Imagine feeling more energized, sleeping better at night, fewer bathroom trips, and having better confidence in your day-to-day life because you're not constantly worrying about finding the nearest restroom. That's the kind of change that can be life-altering. If you have existing bladder concerns, sexual dysfunction, or questions about hormone imbalances, like low testosterone in men or menopausal symptoms in women, consider reaching out to a qualified healthcare provider. A specialized clinic can spend the time needed to address these issues comprehensively. Remember, the ultimate goal isn't just avoiding prostate troubles, it's fostering a high quality of life that encompasses sound bladder function, good sexual health, stable metabolic indicators, and minimized inflammation. When you take steps toward a healthier lifestyle, your body and your prostate will thank you. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. Your support means the world to us. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps share our message with a wider audience. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoyed the content, type yes in the comments below. If it didn't resonate with you, let me know by typing no. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and helps me craft videos that better suit your interests. What's one small change you can start making today to help protect your prostate? Are there questions you'd like answered in future videos? Feel free to share in the comments section below. Your voice matters, and together we can break the taboo around prostate health by tackling it head-on with wisdom, empathy, and open conversation. Remember to take care of yourself. You're absolutely worth it. If you ever feel overwhelmed or need tailored advice, don't hesitate to reach out to a healthcare professional who understands your concerns. Prevention really can be the best cure when it comes to keeping your prostate in tip-top shape.